I tried hard to think about what did I do wrong in my last life, if I had one. Both me and my wife are heavily affected by the flu, and I see I have a sore lip, and it was running like hell, and that's why I've been absent for a while on the tube. I'm not pretty, but I can assure you this was not pretty, and the speech was even worse than it used to be. It came to mind quite suddenly that how do you prepare for your live shows? I'm gonna tell you about how I do my kind of work. Before it used to be management and big system around this that send you lots of papers. They want this, they want that, and the stage is supposed to look like this and this. And a truck with a backline and stuff like that was coming, and the crew that handled this kind of things put it up on the stage and put everything where it's supposed to be according to the drawings. And you could pretty much tell the guys that I want this mic there, I want that mic there, and so forth. And you do something we call a line check, just to figure out that everything is okay, and then you have a sound check with the different guys, not the band. This is a big production scenario, but what about the small ones? The ones that you make your daily bread and butter from? And I'm sure most of you are dependent on the small jobs, not touring with Metallica or whatever. You're stuck with the small clubs and things like that. How do you prepare? For me personally, I make a list, and usually I have to dig deep to find out how many people is in this band, what do they play, and so forth. A rock band is not so difficult because they always have a very specific opinion about how they want to do things. Acoustic, they really don't care about anything with a cable, so they just pop in whenever they like, and usually about 10 minutes before they're gonna play. And they blow the fuse at once. Oh no, we like to have we switch from electric piano, we use the acoustic, which you did not unpack that evening because you knew that they used electric, and you prepared a line for that. And we have a guitar player also now. But he doesn't have an amp or anything, you just have a guitar and we have to use a microphone on the guitar. This is the last minute things you don't want to have. So, a little bit of research. You have to be a little creative here. And the big thing, if you're not, your stage is gonna look like a bombshell with cables going across everywhere, and hurry up, and you want to get this and that working, and running around and figure out how is this gonna look. And at last, in the last moment, I don't give a flying F about how it looks, just make it work. And that's okay if it's a trio or something like that, but if you are working with, say, 8-10 people, it's gonna be a mess and a chaos. And if something happens, you never know where the hell did it happen. Who stepped on that cable and took it apart and so forth. I got some noise here, where does it come from? And you can't get to the stage because there's so many chairs and musical stands and whatever they figure out they want up there. So, what do you do? Well, in my case, I figure out, okay, this band is between 8 and 10, somewhere. Suddenly they want to talk, and they want to use this, just grab a mic and talk. And I always put speech mics on each side of the stage, preferably wireless. And here is the speech mics. But some of them don't get this. They still want to talk into their saxophone or whatever. So you have to bang them in the head and say, you speak in that, you play in that. So that determines, in a way, often what kind of microphone do I choose. This is a speech mic, a Shure SM or whatever. Looks like a speech mic. And this long, small thing is for miking instruments. Please. And this is pointing down, this is pointing to your mouth. Please don't stay on your knees and speak. It looks silly and it sounds stupid. Okay. That's working for a little while. After a while, back again and doing the same shit. So sometimes I'm actually... I'm considering very heavily to make a power line with 220 up to the stage. So every time I touch this mic, they're gonna get a hell of a shock. But after a while, you get used to it, and you don't. If they want to talk in this mic, okay, welcome, talk. Just leave them. Let them do the same mistake a couple of times, and then oh no, he told me I want. It's not his fault. It's my own fault. And then this works out. What's more difficult is when they come and they say, we want to use the acoustic piano. And, okay, I didn't unpack the acoustic piano because you told me you didn't have a piano. No, I want to use a piano. Okay, so it's about 15 minutes to show start, so we have to hurry. I have to mic this thing, and yeah. So if I'm in doubt, I rig the piano with mics and everything. And it's easier if they say, "Oh, we don't gonna use the piano," to pack it down. It's much quicker than rig it up. So that's something you learn after a while. That if you're in doubt, mic the piano and get this to sound the way you want. And you can be damn sure that somebody's gonna say something. Even if they say, no, we don't talk, we just play instrumental music. Yeah, the music is instrumental, but in between the songs, some gook is gonna say something. Usually he's standing with the mic here and he's talking this way. Yeah, and guys, we're gonna play a song from... Talk into the microphone. That's the first and foremost thing you have to learn, these guys. If you have a pro band, there's no problem. They know this. There's never any problem. The more pro the band is, the less problem you have. But if you're an amateur band, yeah, then you have the biggest problems. But the strange thing is that many of these so-called amateurs call themselves pros. And I've been playing for 25, I've been playing for 40 years, this, here, there. And sometimes I have to say, you've been playing for 40 years. Still you don't know how to use a microphone? You must be a bloody slow learner. So, but the super pro guys, never any problem. They just... And if you say something that, okay, I do what you say, because you work here, you know the place, you know why I shouldn't put the amp exactly there. They don't discuss these things, because they know you. But the less they know, the more they want to have their own opinion. You're welcome to it, if it's any good. I never say anything before they say that, okay, I want to do this, and that's not a good idea here, and if you want to do that, you can expect this and this and this to happen. Yeah, and I still want to do that, and I'll listen back to the recording and I can't use this, it's useless, sorry. No, but the other recordings sound very good, yeah, but you didn't do as I told you, and you play way too loud and so forth, and you play directly into the snare drum microphone because the drummer wants to hear your whatever. and you want to put this there instead of there, and so on, so on, so on. So this won't work. Sorry, Mac, this won't work. There are an opinion, many of the guys, that microphones are some kind of magic one that you can do, just put a mic and there's no problem. Try to tell them that's not the case, but it's like speaking to a concrete wall sometimes. So, and for some strange reason, they say, okay, with so many microphones, you can just play as loud as you want. It's gonna get very loud because you have so many microphones. The microphones don't actually determine your volume. It's not there to make things loud. It's there to make things heard. There's a big difference here. So actually, that's a whole nother chapter, but I just say it because it's important to know that you don't use the microphones to get loud. Some people do, but I don't. I never play particularly much louder than the stage. That's, yeah, let's say about 90 dB in the middle of the room. It's a normal, not a big concert hall, it's a normal club. And that's pretty sufficient. You can hear everything clearly, and you can separate instruments, and you don't get annoyed by very, very loud things. I'm talking about, this is jazz bands. I'm working with acoustic music. So a rock band is a little bit different, but still not that different. So the best rock bands don't play that loud. Actually, they're very tight, very good, very together, and it's the same in jazz music. You need to be in the right volume section, and that it's not the microphones that determines how loud you play. It's you. If you play louder than instruments actually can handle, then you have a problem on the stage. But yeah, that's another chapter 2, how to monitor a band like this. But well, this was my little rant about how things can go when you get a little sick and you have too much time to think about why does it have to be like this. Well, so I will combine this with another. I'm trying to learn how to do voiceover. This is actually the first thing I'm doing after very runny thing. So until then, don't grab the mic today. Stay inside. It's very cold. It started snowing, and just mic yourself if you like.